today the operations on arrays, some algorithms will be seeing, and we are looking forward to solve some of the programs using arrays, basic operations over arrays. Okay. Uh, so you people can start putting your USN as a attendance on the chat box so that it has been recorded as an attendance. I hope I'm audible clearly. I said USN, don't put your roll numbers, Ms. Annapurna. Yeah. So here I'm sharing my screen. Just check it out. We are starting with today's session. Yeah. I hope screen is getting shared. In the last class, we have discussed certain important things related with the array implementation. Okay. So today we'll be discussing about how to traverse array, the basic algorithms which used to be asked for 4 to 5 marks, and basic questions about how to write a program. Okay, class, fine. We'll be starting. Yeah. It's already 10:59. So the students who will be coming late will not be allowed later. It's 48 students, 47 students are there. Okay, fine. Here, uh, see, when you are considering an array, what is basically an array is? If you are going to see in the back, we have said it is a collection of certain elements. Okay, so collection of elements of homogeneous type of elements. Okay, so we have seen there that this is a location. These are generally represented with the index values 1 2 3 and so on, maybe n minus 1 as we have started with 0. Okay, now this is a name. How we are going to access them? If it is the name array A, we will be accessing through just like name of the array and with its respective index value. Okay, so generally we used to consider I as an index value. This is nothing but these are the I indexes. Okay, this is one dimensional arrays. Okay, in the same fashion, in the previous two classes we have discussed about two-dimensional arrays also. Okay, let us assume this is a 2 by 4 or 2 by 5 say matrix. Okay, 3 4, here also 0 1, so 2 by 5 matrix. Okay, you here also you will be accessing through, this is one for row we are considering one of the index value, and for the column we are again considering and another index value. How we are going to represent with the two indexes, a of I and let us assume a of j. Yeah, this is what we have discussed about the arrays. Now the problem is I need to access this array now. Now let us assume I have certain elements in this. Say let us assume I'm considering some elements, 1, say 2, 3, 4 and 5, and let us assume 6. Okay, 1 0 1 2 3 4 5. Problem is, now let me consider the name I'm giving here is A. How to access them? That's what we'll be seeing in the program. How we are going to access? We know if I want to access it, we have to say A of 1, that is A of 0. Okay, then A of 1, A of 2, and so on, all A of 5. So if you can do like that, or you may need a for loop. You may need a for loop, right? So we'll be discussing how we are going to use it. See here, what I'm writing here now. This is very important. I'll use. Uh, okay, I'll go with the red color felt pen. Now here what I'll be doing, I'll be setting I equals to lower bound. Lower bound, say I'm considering I, okay, let me consider it capital I, initialize with lower bound. Lower bound is 0. Okay. Now repeat step 3. Now actually I want to traverse a linear array. In this case, what I'll be doing, I'll simply first initialize the index value. Generally, it is always initialized with the lower bound. Lower bound always starts with the 0. Here, I repeat my step 3 and 4 while while I is less than equals to upper bound. So in this case, in my previous thing, lower bound is defined as 0 while upper bound is defined as 5, right? In the previous example what we have discussed, or in this if I consider, okay, it is 5. Now what happens in this, if this is an example, if I'm considering, apply process to a is array element, okay, lower bound 0, upper bound 4 here. Chalo. Set I to I plus 1. I is initialized with 0. First I'll access 0. So here I'll be, here I'll be accessing a of 0. Then it is saying it has to repeat step 3 and step 4. So apply process A. Okay. Applied. Go for the step 4. Step 4 it is saying increment. Increment I. I becomes, which was 0. Now it becomes increment by 1. 1. Okay. Again it goes. It is saying, okay, step 2. Step 2 it goes. Here it will check whether this is, कब तक चलेगा, I is less than equals to upper bound 4, I is 1, 1 is less than 4, condition true, yes, come up, then apply process. The apply in the sense access a of 1, what is 3, we are accessing it with the 3. Okay, next what we'll be doing, we will be simply, now the I value is 1. Again here step 4. Step 4 will say, okay, increment Madri by 1, it becomes 2. Okay. Now again here it comes, as it is the end of the statement. Again it goes, it will say while I is less than, I value is 2, 2 is less than 4. Yes, apply to process A. So we will be applying A of 2. What is that? 5. 5 will be excess. Again I get incremented. I becomes 3. It is end of the loop, goes up. Again it will say jab tak while I is less than upper bound, so 3 is less than equals to 4, condition true. Here it will say apply. So we are going to process this A of 3. Again I get incremented, becomes 4. Check with the condition while I is less than equals to, you can apply while loop, you can apply for loop, any loop you can apply. Basically we used to go with the for loop because we were aware of the upper bound. Okay. So 4 is less than equals to 4, condition true, process. So we are able to access A of 4, that is 8, and I get incremented, becomes 5, and yes, again it goes here, 5 is less than equals to 4, condition false, and here step 5 will get executed, saying that exit. So in this way we have traversed the array in linear fashion. Linear fashion means एक complete एक linear way से. Okay, we have access A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4 in the linear fashion. Okay, so this is how we are going to traverse the linear array. Yeah, I hope you people understand. Actually, this is what the way we generally perform to access the linear array. Okay, this is written in a algorithm way. That's it, nothing else. So if you understand this, I will ask you to write some programs. We'll see some of the programs in this class. Is there any doubt, guys? I hope you understood how to access a linear array. Because if you understand this, in the coming examples, we'll be discussing to write certain programs using the arrays. And once we go through this, we'll be seeing some other interesting operations that has to be performed over arrays. Okay, so I want you people to tell me about the logic of the first program. We'll be seeing two programs over here, that is writing a program to get the smallest or largest number in an array, and another is write a program to get the sum of all elements in an array. So let's start discussion over getting the smallest or largest number in an array. How will you do that? Can you tell me, guys? How will you perform this? So I'll tell. I'll help you. I'll go with the screen. Let me tell you. See, I have a certain numbers. Okay. Let us assume I have 5 elements. Say with index value 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And here I am considering some values 25, 12, 13, 6, and 65. And I wanted to find out the smallest number among them. Can you tell me, and let assume this array name is A. Can you tell me how should I perform so that I will be getting the smallest number among all the elements stored in an array? Please students, let's have a discussion over this. Can you tell me which is the smallest number among this? 25, 12, 13, 6, and 65. Yes?
6.
Very good. 6, yeah, I think everybody agreed with this. 6 is the smallest number among all the numbers available in an array. Now, how your machine will tell you that 6 is the smallest number among all? Can you help me to get a logic to solve this question? This kind of questions we have already solved in C programming first year. Okay. Anyways, we'll be recalling all those concepts. So let's discuss about this. Yeah, guys, any answer, any logic? Let's discuss about this. What should I do? What should I do first? What will be the first step? Yeah, nobody? Mr. Adnan? What should be the first step with this? To access array and to find out the smallest number among the number available in an array. People have said 6 is the smallest number. It is quite clear. But I want to program this. See, as it has been already told to you, you should be pakka with the concept that you have learned in a C programming. Meantime, you should have done all those exercise at your home. Okay. So what you are supposed to do, you are simply first you require one variable. Okay, so I'll consider any variable you can consider. Just like I'm considering any variable. Like just assume I'm considering a small variable which will be holding the first value, any value, basically of 0. So this is 25 will be stored here. Okay, now I'll be comparing 25 with the 12, which is the smallest among these. Okay, so 12 is smallest. Then swap matter. Swap matter in the sense the smallest, this 12 value will be should be here. So now this is 12. Now compare this 12 with the next number. Okay, 12 and 13. Whether 13 is smallest than the 12? No. Okay, compare with the second number. So 6. Compare with the 6. Yeah. So 6 is the smallest now among this. Now compare this 6 value with the next one, that is 65. Whether this is the smallest? No. Now compare with the next. I think you are done with the value. What is the value you are getting here? 6. Which is the smallest? Yes. This is how we will be doing it. This is how the very small funda to understand the getting the smallest number. Okay. So without wasting, let us assume what I'll be doing. Let's try to understand, guys. This is a program which gives you about 5 to 6 marks in university examination. See what I'm going to do here. I have created a main function in which there are the certain variables I'm giving. Int a of 30 is a static memory space I'm allocating for an array which can store 30 integer elements, I'm using one ith variable to hold the index values, a num variable, and the smallest variable, okay, which is going to hold the smallest value. So here I'm asking the number of elements. Maximum size of this array is 30. Maximum number of elements that it can hold is 30. Okay, so here I'm asking enter the number of elements, so that value will be stored here. In the previous example we have considered 5, n value or num value uh, is 5. Okay, 5 elements we have stored. So I equals to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. We are scanning the element. Okay, so here in this case, we are scanning the element. So it create out of this 30 space, we will be allocating only 5 memory spaces. Okay, so here are the elements we are scanning. The first element we have scanned with the 25. Then again, it is asking I plus plus. So maybe 12, 13, 6, and the last element is say 26. It may be anything. Okay, this is how the elements we have seen. So now here, this is the main logic. What I've said is goes here. We are considering smallest. I told you the smallest. Okay, is holding a of 0. So smallest is holding, this is my variable smallest. Okay, which is holding a of 0. A of 0 is holding 25, so it is holding 25. Now for we are applying a loop. I equals, again the loop will be what is the size of your array, it should be of that only. Okay, I 0, I is less than num I plus plus. If, now this is what we were checking, this is very important. If a of I is less than smallest, a of I 25 is less than 25 smallest, then smallest equals to a of I. No. Okay, again it goes incremented, it will say I value which was 0, it becomes now, which was 0, it becomes now 1. A of 1, a of 1, what is there in a of 1? A of 1 is 12. 12 is less than smallest, smallest is 25. Yes, then smallest equals to 12, the next value. So smallest is holding now 12. Again, I get incremented by 1, becomes 2. So here we will be checking a of 2 is less than smallest. What is there in smallest? 12. A of 2, what is there in 13? 13 less than 12, condition false, it will increment, ith value becomes 3. So a of 3, a of 3, a of 3 is 13. Okay, 13 is less than, I think this is done. A of 3 is 6. A of 3 is 6. 6 is less than 12. Yes, then smallest equals to 6. This is done. Okay, I get incremented with 4. A of 4, a of 4, a of 4 is less than 26, less than 6. No, go up, becomes 5. Condition false. 5 is less than 4. Condition is false. Sorry, 5 is less than 5. Condition is false. Here it comes, and we are simply printing the smallest element is, what is the value of the smallest? I am considering here, it is 6. Okay, whether you people understand, please tell me minimum this thing, whether you people understand this concept, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Omkar. Okay, in the same way, we will be seeing, I hope you people are able to understand how you are going to access the array, how you are going to compare the array elements, which are very important because all the operations that we'll be seeing in the further classes, we have to do certain operations on the array and array elements itself. Okay, so in today's class we'll be dealing with basic two programs where to get the confidence among ourselves that we can do certain operations on arrays. Okay, the second we'll be discussing about the second program now. Second program is to get the sum of all elements in an array. The sum of all elements, the question goes like this. Let me see uh, how you will be performing summation of all elements. Let us assume I have another 5 elements and I want to simply perform the addition. Let us assume this is the index value 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let us assume again the name of the array is A and I'm considering some values 20, 30, maybe 10, 40 and let us assume 50. These are the values. I want to add all the elements in an array. Can you tell me how you are going to do? In the sense how what I'll be doing? I'll be doing addition of the all elements. 20 plus 30 plus 10 plus 40 and plus 50. What is the total sum, guys? What is the total sum? Yes,
130.
130. Yeah,
150.
150.
yeah,
150.
yeah. It is 150. Yeah, fine. It is 150. You people have done it, right? So in the same fashion, whether your program is able to perform all these operations or not. If yes, how it is. That is what we are going to see. So can you? This is very simple. What we have done. This is what your element a of 0. You have added a of 0 with a of 1. Then the summation is added with a of 2 and this is a of 3. Isn't it the repetition of addition of every element? So whenever there is a repetition, you are already aware of, you will be applying a looping statement. Whenever there is a repetition of any operation, you will be applying a looping statement. Here is a repetition of addition, you will be applying a looping statement. Okay, so how will you perform this? Say all the elements are stored, you know how to write a program to store some elements in an array. You will be simply declaring some of the variable, initializing. To initialize an array element, you required scan statement inside the for loop, scan statement inside the for loop which will store these values, right? And for addition also, for to access, we required one any for loop or while loop, any looping statement, and access them one by one. A of 0, a of 1, a of 2, nothing but for a of I, because to use this index we will be using any index variable. Generally we will be considering I as an index variable. Yeah, so let's discuss then how will you perform. Let us assume this is sum of all elements a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4. So I'm storing some values as 52796. So as I have discussed here, sum is a of 0 plus a of 1 plus a of 2 plus a of 3 and a of 4. Okay, so how will you write the program? Can you people tell me about this? How will you write the program? Any logic, students?
So first we'll initialize sum equals to 0. Then by using
Very.
for loop, we can add the remaining elements.
How will you add that? Your logic is completely clear. It is very good. You said very important point, sir. We require to initialize some variable to 0 because we are going to add. If it is adding, the unit element is 0. If it is multiplied, yeah, the unit element might have been the 1. We might have initialized with 1. Okay, so you put a very good point. Sum should be initialized with 0. Now my question is, how will you add a of 0 plus a of 1 plus a of 2 plus a of 3, as you said, any looping statement? Can you tell me about that?
Sir, first we should take some.
So
Sum is equal to 0, then
Yeah,
we should add sum is equal to 0 plus a of I, then we should update the term, next
update
term.
the term. Okay, so can I write like that? In that case, sum equals to sum which is initialized with 0
0
plus let us assume a of, and if
I.
I consider I, and this will be, this is initialized, and here I will say for I is initialized with 0, and simply I'll say I is less than whatever num. Okay, I plus plus. Please excuse me about this, the mouse is not working well. Okay, maybe like that. Yes, I think you got my point. Is it correct, beta? Because instead of considering a different variable as a term, I'm changing in the sum only, previous sum plus a of I.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. uh, Here is the problem. I hope it is visible, the program is visible. So what I have written here, I have considered integer a of 100 size. Okay, and along with that I'm using index variable I, and sum is initialized with 0. First I'm asking find sum of all elements. Okay, input the number of elements, so I'm considering that number of elements in nth variable which I have declared here. I'll use some different color. Sorry. Okay, nth variable. Okay, I have declared this n here. Now I'm asking to scan the elements. Now this is very important. Whenever you are going to do, in your program of array, this much is common, because you need to read the array elements from the user. So you require one scan statement inside the for loop. For I equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, we are doing the scanning address of a of. I think this much is very much clear. We have already discussed when we have started with the array how to scan the elements. Once you have done, now this is the logic, actual logic of adding all the elements. Say I is again initialized with 0. Okay, a of 0, sum equals to, this is a shorthand operator, sum plus equals to a of I. This will be written as sum equals to sum plus a of I. Okay, that is a shorthand operator I have used here, sum plus equals to this. Okay, so sum is initialized with 0, 0 plus, so sum is having 0, 0 plus 0 plus what is a of I in this case, it is 5. Okay, so this will be stored back into sum. Now this is 5, sum is 5. Again, as this is a loop closes, again it goes I value was 0, now I value becomes 1. What is n value in this case, it is 5. Okay, it will check 1 is less than 5, condition true. Okay, condition true, here it comes. So sum equals to sum plus, now next time the sum is not 0, it is 5. 5 plus 2, 7. I'll do one thing, I'll make the sum variable here. Okay, and now sum is holding 5. So sum plus a of I value is 1. Now a of 1 is here, check this. Okay, a of 1 is 2, sum is 5, 5 plus 2, now value is 7. Again this will execute, it will go, I get incremented to 2, I value is become 2, 2 is less than 5, condition true, here it comes, sum equals to sum plus, now what is the sum, updated 7, sum is 7. So 7 plus a of 2, what is a of 2, 7, 7 plus 7, it is 14, will be stored back in some variable. Okay, again here it goes, I value becomes 3. Okay, 3 is less than 5, condition true, get inside. Now sum equals to, sum is holding 14, 14 plus 9, 14 plus 9, it becomes 23. So sum is holding 23. Again I get incremented, becomes 4, 4 is less than 5, condition true, get inside. Okay, now sum equals to sum plus a of 4, 23 plus 4 plus 23 plus 6, 20. 9. Okay, sum is holding 29. I get incremented. I say 5. Now 5 is less than 5, guys. Can you tell me? Condition true or false? 5 is less than 5.
False. False.
False. So it will come out. It will execute the next statement here. Print sum of all statements stored. Now, which variable is holding all, sum of all the elements? It is the sum variable, right? So we are
Sum.
printing the value of the sum. That's it. I hope you understood. This is how it is that simple. Right, guys?
Yes,
Any
sir.
doubts in this? Please tell me, because this is very simple program I have taken so that you get a confidence, because you are coming back to array concept after say more than 6 months. If you have learned the C programming in your first semester, right? So that's why I have come up with the very basic programming. Any doubts in this? And there is an alternate way also to solve this question. I'm taking very basic way. Is there any doubt, guys? Please tell me. Minimum say no, so that I can proceed further.
No doubt, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Style. We'll go ahead with the some other important operation that has to be performed in the array. We'll be going ahead with some operations now, which will be asked in the examination for 6 to 8 marks. Now, let us assume this is the first case where I'll be doing insertion and deletion operation. Now I have some elements: Brown, Davis, Johnson, Smith, and Wagner. If you are going to see, I've stored them in an array fashion, in such a fashion, in way that their character, the first character, are placed as per their uh, sequence. Okay, so B, D, J, S, and W. Now here, if Mr. Ford, there is another entry that I'm going to do. Mr. Ford, I want to store here. I want to add one element. Element is Ford. Now, can you tell me where this element is going to store? Ford. It should follow the sequence. It should not say, okay, sir, we'll do one thing. We'll add 8 here. No, it should follow the sequence. Where should be the Ford? Comes at what location, guys?
At 6.
At 6 here. If I
Location 3.
yeah, I'll come to this point. Very good. If I had here at position 6 Ford, which is the last element, then in that case it is not following the sequence. After W, how come F will be there? So we'll be comparing F, whether F is smaller than B, no. F is smaller than D, no. F is smaller than J, yes. Then we will simply, from this entry, we will ask to modify and to start from here. So यहाँ से जो एंट्रीज थे आपके जॉनसन के, जॉनसन, स्मिथ एंड वैगनर, ये सारा का सारा एंट्री आप लोग यहाँ पे ऐड कर दोगे. बोल तो अब we are going to update their positions. We have not updated its position, guys. If you are able to see in the things, here it was Brown, here also at the first location Brown, second location Davis was there. But we have simply modified this. Okay. And Mr. Ford, जो था, we have added at this position. This is how the insertion is done. I hope you people are understanding. Yeah. If so, in the same case, if I want to add in this a Taylor, how will you do that? The same fashion. At what position Taylor will be added? You can see here I have added at the 6th position. So in that case, till the 5 position, there is no change. There is no change. So when the Taylor I have to add the further positions, just like Wagner, I have updated that, right? In the same fashion, if I wanted to remove Mr. Davis, I'm just saying remove the Davis. So eliminate or delete Davis. So you'll be first finding out where is the Davis. You will be comparing. Okay, here is the Davis. Okay, then remove this entry and simply ये जो आपके नीचे वाले सारे एलिमेंट्स है विच इज ऑलरेडी सॉर्टेड विल बी मूविंग एट हियर. सो यहाँ से जो आपके पोजीशंस थे सारे के सारे I have simply make it here because that position is been empty and we are putting it here. This is how the insertion and deletion operation is performed. How to perform that we'll be doing. Hope you understood this insertion and deletion operation. Any doubts guys, please tell me. Okay, I hope there is no doubt. Then we'll be proceeding with the further. This is how the insertion and deletion algorithm that will be asked in the examination. So please try to understand what actually we have done in this inserting into a linear array. Okay, so we are calling a function insert linear array. We require 4 terms here: the address of linear array where it starts, the number of elements, the k element, and the item that we are going to insert. Here LA is a linear array with n elements, and k is a positive integer such that k is less than n. This algorithm inserts an element into kth position. Okay, so this is how total insertion algorithm we'll be discussing. I'm sure you may not understand right now. So when we are coming back to offline classes, please remind me, we'll be discussing this algorithm of insertion and deletion at that time. Okay. Class, we'll be discussing some more operations that we are going to see. Insertion, this can be done at three different places. Insertion. It can be done at the beginning, it can be done at the end, or it can be done in given index array. Okay, means say I have a certain elements. Let us assume I have a certain elements a of 0, 1, 2, and 3. Say 25, 15, 16, and 17. Now I have to add another element. Okay, 15 at here in this position. Okay, in this position. So what I will be doing, I will be saying, okay, so I am inserting 18. Now, is it -1? No, it won't be. It will not, right? It will not, because as per our thing that we know, it never starts with the zero. The index value never starts with negative. It will all start. So what I'll do, I'll make it this 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now if you see, I have added 18 at the beginning. Okay, if I want to add another element at the bottom, sorry, at the last, I'll simply create one more memory space at the last, and this I'll consider the index value 5, and here I'll consider another. This is in the beginning, at end. Now in between, if it is given index value, let us assume I want to add here. So what I'll be doing, I will simply consider like this. We have a certain elements. Say first element is 18, next element is 25, and next element is 15, and here if I want to add certain element, then 16, then 17, and last is 29. Now here you have to just create one memory space, and please try to understand the elements which are at this position till this much, they are unchanged. 18th, if you consider their index values, they are it is also unchanged. Okay, so first three elements 18, 25, and 15, they are unchanged with their index value. The next element, if I wanted to store, let us assume 20, it is been added a of 3 position, and the other numbers 16, 20, 17, and 29, these numbers with their index values are updated. The elements which is at a of 3 is now moved to the a of 4, and every other elements from there onwards will be moving towards the one index value, because in between we have added one element. So this is the third case where we are adding an element at given index and array, so that the next element will get affected. Yeah, So in this way, we'll be seeing how these elements are going to be inserted. Let us assume you have a certain elements 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and these are the index values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is the 199th. I'm going to insert at the first position, 199 at the first position. Right now at the a of 0, I have already one element 10, right? Who is there at a of 0 at the first position, guys? In my existing case,
10.
it is 10. Now I want to insert 199 at a of 0. How will you do that in this case? What need to be done in this? So that
Shifting of
shifting of, very good,
every element from the
to,
next.
to the next to the next value, right? So
Yes.
will it be like this? This 50 will be moving, this 40 will be moving to a of 4, 30 will be moving to a of 3, 20 will be moving to a of 2, 10 will be moving of a of 1, and now there is empty space created at a of 0. So what happens? We have simply shifted all the values to the right, and we have created one empty space at a of 0. Now this 199 will be stored. So is it the insertion happen at the beginning? Are you
Yes,
understanding what
sir.
I want to tell?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, that's what the point I wanted to clear. Now this is how the algorithm, which we have already presented. Once again I'll take those things, but not now, we'll be taking it later. Now insertion at given index, in the same fashion, what we will be doing, uh, what we will be doing, let us assume I have the spaces like this. Okay, just a minute, there is a slight modification is required. Okay, fine, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see here what we'll be doing. Again we have some elements over here. uh, Now I wanted to add all the elements. What I'll be doing, I'll be inserting the 199 at this position where 30 is already been situated. Now how I will be doing, will be again shifting position. We should know at what position. Okay, now this 199 will be added. Did we touch the elements prior to 199, prior to a of 2? No, we have not. Still we have successfully inserted the element at a given index. Okay, I hope you people are understanding what actually I wanted to convey, right? This is how the insertion is done at the middle. Now in the same fashion, if I do deletion, if I do the deletion, same thing we are going to perform. Okay class, just see deletion front of the array. If we have a certain element 10, 20, 30, 40, and I want to delete the element, which is the element which is at the front, guys? It is
10.
10. All right,
10.
now if I remove that element, then which will be the element which will be at the front?
20.
Then what about their index values? Because
8.
20 is at the location 1, index value 1, then whether it should be modified or it should not be modified?
It should be modified.
It should be modified. Let's see how it happens. So a of 0, which was 10, is gone. This 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now who is at a of 0?
20.
Well,
So how many changes we have done? We have made only one change. As per you, if I follow, then I would have made two changes. What was that? One is removing the 10 and then renaming the index values. So that a of 1 will become a of 0. I did not do that. What I have done, I have simply removed that. Whatever the empty space was created, I simply shift all the elements towards left, the remaining element. I hope you understood my point. This is how deletion that we are performing. And in the same way, if I do the deletion at end or at given value, how all these things happens, you will be telling as a, because I'll be expecting the answers of all these in the next class from you people, if you understand the basics of insertion and deletion. Okay, it's already 11:45, so I'm expecting the answers in the coming classes about how will you performing the deletion at given index values. Okay, so let me start with the search operation. How will you perform the search? Again, let us assume you have some values 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, and I'm performing the searching operation. How will you perform the search operation, by the way? आप search operation कैसे करते हो? Let me tell you one thing. If you have a this 10, 20, 30 and you have to search for the 30, how will you perform the search operation?
Binary search.
No, that is the different way or mechanism, binary search, linear search you can perform.
उसको कंपेयर करेंगे सबके साथ.
कैसे कैसे बेटा फिर से बताइए.
सर एक एलिमेंट लेंगे, मतलब एक
Okay, we have a key is 30. Okay, we'll take the 30 first. Yeah,
and we'll compare with each of the terms.
each of the terms available in an array. Very good. Okay, yeah, that's what. See, we are comparing, we are checking 30, we are comparing whether 30 equals to 10, that is a of 0, no, proceed. Okay, then we are comparing with the second element, whether 30 equals to 20, no, proceed. We'll go ahead with the third element. We are checking whether 30 equals to 30. Oh yes, it means the key searched element is successful. We got the element and it is a successful search, right? If it is not, then it would have been not available at that moment. I hope you people are understanding. In the same fashion, we'll be seeing some other operation just like a sorting and merging. Okay, this is what the basic operations that we are going to perform on the arrays. So we required one more class to see the basic operations that can be performed on arrays. After that, we'll be starting with the strings. For strings, I required 2 to 2.5 class. Okay, and strings is very important as per as your placement concern. You will be seeing minimum one question from the string for your placements. Okay, so once again we'll be starting in the next class. We'll be dealing with the remaining basic operations that can be performed on arrays. So meantime, I want you people to go through the basic concept of the arrays as well as go through the strings. In the upcoming classes we'll be discussing about the strings also. Okay, if you have any doubts in the today's class, you are free to ask your doubts so that I can resolve. If you have given the attendance, fine. If you're not, put your USN as a new attendance. And that's for the day then. Hope you have another class. You people can move for the another class. If you have doubt, please come up with your doubts.